is for the United States Championship. Approaching the ring, the United States Champion, Dolph Ziggler.
One of the best things about the Nintendo 64 was its wrestling games. In fact, wrestling games haven't been quite the same since. There have been some good ones, but those days of a wrestling game being among a console's very best titles seems to have come to an end. THQ might be poised to change that. I wouldn't say it's the same kind of release in 2011 that Revenge was in 1998 or No Mercy was 2 years later. It's not quite on that level, but it's at least in the title picture. By tweaking their approach and launching a new brand, THQ has finally brought their games out of the mid-card and into the main event.
He is the World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton.
WWE 12 represents the beginning of a new era for wrestling video games. Gone are the games based on single shows or gimmicks. This one gives professional wrestling's grandest and most prestigious organization the Madden treatment, and it results in perhaps the most complete WWE video game ever made. Developed by Yuke's Media Creations, WWE 12 is the debut of a brand new series. Forget this versus that. This game brings this and that together the way it should be. Perhaps the most succinct description of WWE 12 is that it's the kind of video game other sports get on a yearly basis. The structure, the in-ring changes, and even the name change, superficial as that may seem, all get over a simple message. This isn't just any WWE game, it's the WWE game.
Ziggler with a nice mat-based attack there.
In a practical sense, perhaps the biggest change in WWE 12 compared to previous Yuke's and THQ wrestling games is the way the game really tries to emulate the pace of the craft itself. Professional wrestling is really comprised of two main components, the wrestling and the story. The best matches are the ones that tell a story in the ring, and WWE 12 tries to do the same. The first step in doing this is the new grappling system. You can lock up with your opponent, and then from there, your options are situational. You can change simple moves together at first, but as the match continues and you wear down your opponent, the moves at your disposal become more and more powerful. So the match starts to actually change, both in a functional and aesthetic sense.
Cody Rhodes executed that move perfect.
I mean, even kicking out, which depended on button mashing for years, has a clever new makeover based on releasing a button at just the right moment. The more damage you've taken, the smaller that window for escape becomes. These kind of changes seem subtle, but in practice, they really give WWE 12 an interesting pace. The matches have drama, they build in tension, they have a more realistic progression. It's almost as impressive as an actual Dolph Ziggler match. Well, almost. Speaking of Ziggler, the hashtag heel is in fact on the roster, joining more than 60 other wrestlers. I refuse to call them superstars. My favorites are all there, from Ziggler to Cody Rhodes to CM Punk to Zack Ryder, the only person on the internet who's more over than I am. And each wrestler has his own signature and finishing moves, which only adds to the impressive sense of Madden-like authenticity in WWE 12. It's obvious that the team at Yuke's loves wrestling. In a lot of ways, they do it more justice than the WWE writers. They've offered fans a massive set of toys to play with, including staggering customization options, plenty of gameplay modes, and a core wrestling game that you might call, to borrow a line, the best in the world.
Somebody get him out of here!
Grab your controller, Undertoads. It's clobbering time!